Well, hello, everybody. Who needs a reset? I am excited to talk about all things reset today because I know that we're here and it's almost October. Can you believe it? Oh my goodness, I cannot believe it. It's almost October, and I want you to be thinking about okay, are you right where you want to be with your weight loss goals? Are you right there? Are you meeting them? Are you hitting them? Or are you feeling like you're really far away from them? Either is totally fine. But where are you? What's happening? And I want you to just get a pulse and just get a sense of what's going on. When you started 2021, did you say this year is going to be different? And has it been? In many ways, it's been so different for all of us these last couple of years. But has it been different for your body? Are you right where you want to be? Are you making that headway? And if you are, so excited for you. Congratulations. If you're feeling right on the path, awesome. And if you're somebody who said, this year's going to be different for my weight and my body, and I'm not quite where I want to be, I just want you to think about what have you done? What worked and what didn't work? Did you try? And what happened in the trying? What happened is you went for it with all gusto, all passion, and then what happened? Did something sizzle out? Were thoughts that you used in your mind, did they sizzle out? Did the feelings, did the thoughts that you could actually achieve something different for your weight and your body, did that fizzle out at all? So no matter where you are today, whether you're making it happen, whether you're not making it happen and you need a reset, I am so happy you're here because I want to talk to you and give you a strategy to help you reset for these next 3 months. What should you do? Where should you focus your time, your energy, your attention? And I've simmered it down to 4 things. I got 4 things that I want you to focus on if you're feeling like you need a massive do-over for these next 3 months in 2021. Okay? So let's look at these things, and you may want a piece of paper. You may want to take notes because what I'm going to share with you is not just something that you're going to remember. It's something you actually actively have to do and come back to doing. Okay. So that's very different in the work that I do is I don't just lecture and you just can go, okay, I'll just go do it. A lot of times this is action. We're doing this work together. Okay. So let's start looking at the first action item. Okay. The very first thing I want you to do is to use the model we use at ThinWithin, which is the be, do, have model. It's one of the many models we use, but this is one that I love, and it goes like this. If you want to lose weight, be thinner, have a certain weight, let's say you say, I want to be 135 pounds. Then in order to have that, we backtrack. And we backtrack by starting with this. Who do you want to be? Who are you being at 135 pounds? Who are you being at your ideal weight? And that's where I'd love for you to write down. Who is that person? Who are you being? And when I say being, I mean showing up as. I mean walking the walk, talking the talk, acting the acts. Who are you being? If you don't know who that person is, then how do you know that you're getting close to her? How do you know that you're almost there? How do you know that things are shaping up great to get you there? Who is that person being? Who is that version of yourself that weighs the weight that you want to weigh? And how is she showing up? And here's what I like to look at. And I always write down for myself. What am I saying to myself? What are you telling yourself? What are you wearing? What are you doing? How are you eating? What are the foods that you're eating? I paint a picture so I can start to see visually, so our brain can go there visually, right? That's why we do this, so our brains know where we're going. Like when you wanted to, for those of you who succeeded at getting a degree or you accomplished something that you worked hard at, you saw, like I remember seeing or imagining the my college, having the certificate up on my wall. And for many years I did, because I wanted that. I was so proud of that. I saw it. I saw myself in a black robe and my cap and feeling so good about accomplishing that. That's the same visual I want you to have about who is this person? Who is this person that is totally naturally thin? She resides inside of you. She's already there, but I want you to connect to her. Who are you being as your naturally thin, healthiest, vibrant self? Who is that version of you? And get detailed about what is she doing, saying, feeling, acting. Paint the picture for your mind. And then we paint it using our dominant senses. What is she talking about? She's not talking about how big she is, or how she doesn't like her legs, or how she doesn't like her tummy, or how, this isn't working. That is not that version of you. What is she saying? I'm feeling good. I'm looking good. I'm proud of myself. Look at me moving towards my goal. Look at me for accomplishing my weight loss. Look at me. I'm doing so great. What is that version of you saying? What are you telling yourself? And what do you tell yourself on the hard days when you don't want to work out, when you don't want to follow through, you don't want to do those things? What are you telling yourself? What does that version of you say to herself? Come on, you got this. You can do this. You're going to feel so much better. Come on, you can do this. I know you can. You're strong. You're awesome. You're powerful. Okay, so the first thing you do is you paint out and you describe the be version of yourself. Who are you being? So that you know, and you paint that picture for where you're going to go in your weight in your body. You can see that version of yourself. Okay? That's number one. Number two, you're going to start asking better questions of yourself. Start asking better questions of yourself. And here's what I mean by that. These are some of my favorite questions. So I'm going to just tell you some of mine that I ask myself. What am I willing to do today to align with the best version of myself? What am I willing to do today to align with the best version of myself? How can I eat those foods that I love and lose weight? How can I eat the foods I love and lose weight? What am I willing to do today to help me feel better, look better? And is this realistic? So I start asking myself better questions. And let's say I also will position some of the questions like, Marna, what salad would sound really good for you for lunch today? See how I don't give it a lot of options? Some of the days where I'm like, okay, I would really like to have salads. And I know that naturally for lunches, I don't crave that. What do I crave? Cheese. I always crave cheese. So I will say things like, okay, what salad would be really great? What would you love to put on your salad today? What does that do? It assumes I'm going to have a salad when I get hungry for lunch. I already paint that picture for myself. Again, a better question. Okay? So we're going to start asking better questions. Not what's wrong with me, not why can't I do this? Why am I broken? Why am I not fitting into my pants? Why is this? We're asking better questions that move you toward the person that you want to be. Towards the person you say you want to be. Let's move your questions towards her. And let's stop engaging in questions that move you backwards. Okay? And then from those questions, you're going to answer with the realistic answers. So, if I say to myself, I'll give you an example. If I say, what am I willing to do today to align myself with the best version of myself? And I say, you're going to go work out for 2 hours today. That's a lie. I am not going to do that. Okay? It's not realistic. It doesn't fit into it just doesn't fit. So if I say, oh, I'm going to take a Pilates class today and go for a walk, that feels much more realistic to me than working for 2 hours at the gym. That's just doesn't fit. It's not realistic. So your answers have to be realistic. They have to, when you ask a question of your brain, the answer needs to be realistic. If you don't ever eat vegetables and you're going to be like, I'm going to have a day of vegetables, then you say, well, wait a second. Is that realistic? No. So don't tell yourself that you're going to do something that you're not going to do. Your answers need to be realistic. Your questions need to be realistic. We need to make sure these are things that you're moving towards. Now, listen, if this right here, if my fist is the ultimate you and you're right here, then you do realistic things to move yourself towards your goal. But if you make it so that what you're doing is so unrealistic, you're going to want to do over. You're going to want to start over because it's just too hard. It doesn't fit yet. It's not where you're at. Okay? So the third question is, or the third part of this is, make sure you are answering with realistic answers. That your process, your questions, what you're going to do is realistic for your life now. It will change as you transform. I know it will. And then number 4, this is really important. Stop arguing for why you can't do what you say you're going to do, and start arguing for what you say you're going to do and following through. Some of you are arguing for why this is too hard, why this is too difficult, why you can't do what you say you want to do for the day. That's a sure sign that what you're setting up for yourself and your life and your body is unrealistic. It just is. It's just unrealistic. If you keep arguing for why you can't do it, it means that what you're putting forth is not realistic. Because when you're doing work and asking questions and laying out a day, it should be realistic for who you can be and how you can show up. If you keep arguing for, I can't work out today because, I can't move my body today because, I can't eat this food today because, right? If you keep arguing for why you can't, you're going to stay stuck in the argument of why you can't be the person that you want to be and that you ultimately say you're craving. So instead, you're going to start arguing for the person you want to be. Start grasping for her. Tell your brain why this must happen. Why it's easy for you to get up and move your body. Why it's easy for you to take action. How you can do it. How awesome you are for doing it. Start arguing for the person you want to be. And that might have to be around other people, like partners, if you need to argue for who you want to be when you have a wife or partner or husband who says, here's some food. And you gotta say, you know what? I'm feeling so good today. I've got this. No, thank you. Enjoy. Argue, fight for what you say you want to do, and then follow through. So when you fight for what you're doing and you then follow through, you are then in action. And here's what's so cool about this. When you're following through, you start trusting yourself in this area. And I know it doesn't feel good to be someone or feel like you can't trust yourself to follow through in this area. And that's often because you just haven't learned the tools, and you haven't made your life realistic in the follow through. And you're arguing for what you don't want versus arguing for what you do want. So stop making it hard. Stop making it hard for you to lose weight. And when you create a realistic, doable plan that feels good, that you know what? I'd love some pizza and I'm going to have some salad with it. I'd love to have, whatever you want. Like I eat whatever you want. My clients who lose weight eat whatever they want as long as it works well within their body. As long as it doesn't cause and create inflammation and pains and suffering inside their body. Why? Because I learned that the naturally thin do the very same thing, and we're copying them. We're doing precisely what they do. And so if you've been stuck, we've got to start activating a newer vision. So here's why I love this plan. Let's break it down. Number one, you're starting to be the person. You're laying out who you want to be. That's visually, physically, mentally. We're activating your whole self, totally holistic. The second thing, you start asking better questions of yourself that move you toward who you want to be versus away from where you want to be. Like the questions you're asking currently, if you are not where you want to be with your weight, then it means the questions you're asking yourself are not supporting consistency and weight loss and health and vibrancy in your life. They're supporting a different version of you. And if you want the new version, you've got to ask better questions and then answer those questions in a realistic way. Does this fit for my life? Can I, how can I do this in a realistic way? What working out would look like realistically? What will eating in a way that you don't feel deprived work realistically for you? And then you've got to argue for that person who you want to be. Argue for her instead of arguing for the reasons, the excuses that you can't be an incredible, amazing, powerful, dreamy version of yourself. I see it happen so many times when I'm out with people and they're like, just this one time I'll have this, or just this, what, I deserve this food today. They're arguing for what they don't want to be and who they don't want to be versus saying, you know what? I'm awesome and I love who I'm showing up as. I'm going to have a couple bites and then enjoy the rest. Show up for yourself in your self-talk, in your vision. Make sure you know what your vision is. Make sure you know who you want to be, because that's where the be, do, have model comes. We start with the be. Who do you want to be? Get clear of her. Then you start doing in alignment with who you want to be. And then you get to have that version of yourself that you've been saying you want. Yay! And then I know you're crazy. So are you ready to show up? Are you ready to create and be that person? And all you have to do is each day remind yourself who you want to be. Connect to your vision. Connect to that version of you. And then ask yourself, how am I going to align with her? What am I willing to do? What's realistic to do today to align with her? How can I move towards her? Because I know I want her. And I know I can be her. And if you don't know it, you say, I hope I can be here. I'm creating her. I'm really hopeful that I can step into that version of me. And then you just keep stepping in and stepping in and stepping in until you become that version of yourself that you say you desperately want. You have her then. Be, do, have. And you're going to do that through vision work, through declaring who you want to be, by acting as if you are that person. You're going to ask yourself better questions. You're going to fight for the version of you that you want versus your excuses. Now that, my friends, that's going to lead you to weight loss. That's going to get you results. So we've got 3 months left. Show up for yourself. Who do you want to fight for? Who are you excited to fight for? What version of yourself are you going to show up for? I'm really excited for you. I'm really excited for you to step into your power and be that person. Now let me look at your comments here. Hi, everybody. So nice to see you. Paula, you said, I imagine seeing myself happy and healthy and okay while looking in the mirror. So start feeling that now. Be that person who imagines looking in the mirror and feel that way now. Don't wait. We're not wanting to wait for any of this. Hi, Miss. Oh, Kathy, you're able to make it on. And Roberta and Paul. Yeah, I love seeing that you're here. Okay, you have an opportunity to be that person now. We don't want to wait. Why wait? See, a lot of times we think so why I like the be, do, have instead of the opposite is that what you start doing, instead of thinking you have to wait until you can be that person. No, we're going to be that person now. Talk the talk, walk the walk, have your shoulders back, smile, feel confident, wear clothes that make you look and feel good now. Be that person now. And the more you're being that person, the more you want to be her. And then the more you want to take action from that place of being that version of yourself. And then you'll have her. It's like getting a check in the mail that has $1 million on it. And that $1 million, all of a sudden you're like, okay, I'm a millionaire. I have $1 million right here with me. And you're not going to cash it in yet, right? Which would be the equivalent of having your weight, the goal that you want it to have. But you're going to walk around holding this check. And while you're holding this check, it feels awesome. You feel like a millionaire. You feel amazing. You feel good. Or it could be 10 million, it could be 20 million, it could be 50 million. I don't care. But before you cash it in and deposit it, you're walking around knowing, feeling that power, that sense of, I feel amazing. Depositing the check is like stepping on the scale and seeing the body that you want to have, the size, the weight you want to be at. We're going to check it in. It's coming. But we're going to just feel the way, do the actions. We're doing all the things, knowing that we can absolutely be that person. We're a millionaire. We're thin, we're vibrant, we're healthy, and we're going to show up that way and talk the talk and walk the walk and practice the practices so that when you finally are there and you step on the scale and that's your weight, you're like, woohoo! I practiced being and thinking and acting and living all this time and fighting for health and showing up for myself over and over and over. Versus just thinking that you're going to have it and then all of a sudden you're going to show up. All of a sudden you're going to talk nicer. All of a sudden you're going to like your body. No, it does not work like that. And for those that do that, oftentimes kick back and gain weight because they have not conditioned their brain to think like this new person. It's like when you get so much money and they don't know how to, like lottery winners, and then they like lose it because they haven't managed their mind. They haven't programmed it. So you have an advantage over lottery winners because now you have the opportunity to choose it, be it. And then when you create it, when you're there, when you're at that weight, you step on the scale or you are wearing clothes that fit amazingly well, you go, I know how to do this. I've just practiced this all along. Where a lottery winner just is receiving that money. It's just like when people go through gastric bypass surgery and gain it back. It's because they haven't reprogrammed their inner world to be thinner, lighter, healthier, vibrant. And that they don't know it yet. And so they're given this gift of being smaller and they're like, well, I don't know how to do this. I haven't practiced this. You have the practice right now, but you got to stay practicing it. Got to keep on keeping on your journey. And when you fall off, who cares? Get right back up and be that person you want to be. Show up for yourself over and over and over until you're that person. Feel it now. Be it now. Do not wait. Okay? And if you need help, the 30-day challenge, the registration's opening now. The 30-day challenge is an opportunity for me to help you. It's an opportunity for me to walk with you by your side and give. If you want more of me, then you might want to sign up for the 30-day challenge. Then you get me a lot. You get me 3 times a week, right? 2 in the challenge, 1 here. You get me a lot. And if you want help to get down to your desired weight, to kickstart this so that come December and come 2022, you know exactly, you're practicing, you're knowing what to do. If you need that motivation, inspiration, and tools and direction, then sign up for the 30-day challenge. You know, I was looking at other 30-day challenges and I was like, holy cow, mine is reasonably priced. Holy cow. People are charging way more than I am. And I know mine is so good. Because I paid for so many others that I was like, what? You get that? Only that? No. You are going to love my challenge if you haven't taken it. I'm on fire. You'll be with me. I'll get to know you and I'll make this happen for you. I am 150% dedicated to giving you results and helping you figure out why you're struggling and how to unlock the key to getting this weight off for you. But I can't do that if I don't get to know you and you don't sign up. I can't do that for you or with you if on a more intimate level. So this is a way, very reasonable way for me to do it. And for those of you who want more support and more help, there's a VIP option. There's only 5 of those spots left. I only opened up 7 this time because they take a lot of my time and I'm happy to do it, but they do. So I've only opened up 7 spots. 2 of those have just been taken. So I would love, what that looks like is I work with you via Marco Polo. So it's like Marco Polo. If you haven't used the app, it's like texting only video. So you'd be like, hey, so-and-so, how you doing? Or Martin, I'm really struggling with listening to my body today. And here's what I'm thinking. My brain just really wants sugar. So how do I deal with that? And then I text you or I video you back. I'm like, here's a strategy that I want you to do. We go back and forth like that. And so it's an intimate connection with me. And it's a very, very, very reasonable price point to get that kind of level connection with me over the 30-day challenge. Okay. So what are you going to do? 1, you're going to get clear of who you want to be. Who is that person you keep saying you want? Don't tell yourself you want to lose weight. Tell yourself, who do I want to be? And get clear of who she is. Number 2, you're going to start asking yourself much better questions. Questions that support you losing weight, like, what am I willing to do today to align myself to this vision that I have for myself, the body that I'm craving? What am I willing? What am I open to? Is it realistic? Is the 3rd thing. Is your question realistic? Is your action item realistic? If you don't want to work out for 2 hours and you're not going to go to the gym for 2 hours, if you're not going to only eat vegetables, stop telling yourself to only eat vegetables. Spread it around. Let's make this realistic. We can make small steps towards the version of you want to be. So make sure it's realistic. That will help you with any resistance that you're having. When you make things realistic, you don't have the fight and the pull in the same way. And lastly, number 4, stop arguing with your excuses to why you can't do something and start fighting for why you can and how you can. That is the biggest gift you can give yourself right now with these last 3 months. Fight for who you want to be and start taking action from that vantage point versus arguing for your excuses, why you can't, why it's hard, why it's difficult. That is not going to get you the body you want. It never will. And it's too easy to do. Your brain wants to do it. I get it. Your brain's conditioned to just go the easy path and be like, I'm too tired. I don't want to do that. I don't want to cook. I'm too tired. So then that's where you have the opportunity to ask your brain to go further. Well, how can I make this easier on myself cooking tonight? What would feel really good in my body to keep me moving towards my weight loss goal tonight? I don't want to move in this way. How can I move in another way? I'm going to cancel this class. When am I rescheduling it so that I know exactly when I'm going to do this next workout class? You see? Fight for who you want to be. And if I can help you through the 30-day challenge, please allow me the opportunity to help work with you and change your brain, change your relationship with food, and start aligning you with that version of yourself who you want to be. Now, in preparation for the 30-day challenge, it is extraordinarily helpful if you know who you want to be and you've taken some time to do some of that vision work to create, here's who I want to be, here's how I want to think, here's what I want to tell myself, here's how I want to dress, and you paint that picture for yourself, because when we hit and run the 30-day challenge, when we get started, it's going to be so much easier for you to do this work, knowing and being that version of you. All right, everybody, I am sending you so much love. Kick some major booty this week. And I will talk to all of you soon. All right, bye, everybody.